was already attacked by Argus minions.
I only have one.
And yes, ideally I would have tried to push him back on a great success, but essentially just an attack
Let
in fire stance.
you reset your stance and unleash a fiery blow. With great force and great skill. Should be +4, +4, +8.
Yes, but I was disconnected for the time.
Terribly sorry for that. Let's see. These guys have an AC of 15 for the most part. No, wait there. Yeah. Okay.
So it was a
1d8,
success.
1d8 +2, please.
Oh, 1d8.
Jesus. Well, I think this guy already got hit with like an 8 damage from that sword swing. So with your combined fury, once more a goblin falls dead to the ground. Let's just make these guys dead. And you are left standing. Anything you would like to do with your movement action? Maybe step out of that trouble, line up with your friend?
Maybe take a step back and you wrote that I can change stance whenever I want.
Once around, yes.
I don't know. Fire is very reckless, I think. Is well, staying in a fire stance is maybe a bit reckless.
I mean,
So
yeah. Okay. It's now the other guy's turn. Don Goblin tries to maintain full force, but it's Skazertz who implores. He prays to his deity and tries to affect your mind by calling down divine force upon your mind. Pollen, for you are weak, you will be made weaker. Let the pain become fear. Oof. Oof. That plus. Where's my mouse? God damn it. Why is my mouse keep vanishing today? What's the deal? What is the deal? So that is 7 plus that makes for 23. I think that's a great success over Pollen's saves. Let's take a look, see Pollen. That's 2 plus 4 makes for a beautiful 16. Beautiful. Beautiful. Pollen, your mind flushes with pain, with anguish. The soaring cut that you've gained, the soaring, throbbing pain in your chest from this dark magic spilling into you, this anti-life, becomes stronger. It overpowers your body. I don't know if you've ever been confronted with, like, a lot of people probably don't know how this feels, but like legitimate flight or fight fear is like very separate from what most people think fear is. It is primal and deep, and it shivers your bones. Matey. It'll take you great courage and strength to stay where you are. Planky, in the meantime, takes advantage of the fact that it barrels into the beautiful boy. It walks forward, swinging its bone-decorated hand into the skeleton minion. So that's that. Oh. And then he adds that that makes for... Oh, it's not a great roll. He doesn't have great combat skill. His strength is that he is forceful.
Yes.
So that plus that makes 4. Okay. And what is your skeleton minion's defenses at? 18. Oh. Well, it's just a basic blow. 1. Your minion takes a single point of wounds.
How would I account that on my copy of the sheet, by the way?
If I recall correctly, yeah, I think after your first is HW, that should have been HW. Just add 1 to the number. So 18 out of 1.
Oh, 1 out of 18.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason in the system it counts up from 0.
Yes, because that's how many wounds you've accumulated.
Yes.
You aren't losing hit points, you're gaining wounds. This little goblin, invigorated by this mighty blow upon the skeleton, hearing the rattling of bones and the encouragement of his lord, and the fear seen in Pullum's eyes, he lets out a little baby battle cry of his own as he raises his dagger. Holy shit. Pullum, watch out. This is gonna hurt. So, Pullum, critical hits in the system don't work the way that they used to. First and foremost, let me just double check my numbers here. Yours is 20. His is 2 plus 5 makes 24, so that is 4 plus 1d4. You take 6 fatigue. You gain 6 fatigue from this distracting blow. However, critical hits, the way they work is that the bonus damage you gain from critical hits goes straight to wounds. So a little thing I really like about Star Wars D20 is the critical hits just say, nope, you don't have any bonus vitality points, you just get fucking smacked. You take 3 actual wounds, and you take an injury to whatever stance you're currently in.
3 injuries? Okay.
No, 3 wounds, and you take an injury, which is a -2. And if you take another injury, it becomes a -5. And after that, you start gaining scars from like repeated agitation of the wound. All right, it's you guys' turn again. A large metal robot has started bearing down onto the skeleton. A small goblin is chopping away at Pullum's ankles as he's incapable of keeping his fear in check. What do you do?
Oh, I have an idea.
What's your idea?
And carries fire, and these guys are really bunched up together. So I will order it to throw alchemist fire somewhere like in the middle of them all. Maximize damage I can do. And then Argus is going to save the spell that they have for later, and then use the crossbow and one of the goblins to take it down faster. So that we only have to
I
contend
would
with the
like to
big guy.
remind you that your skeleton... oh no,
Yes.
halting strike doesn't apply here. Whoops, sorry.
Excuse me, what strike?
Halting strike. They have a reaction they can use, which is mostly meant for like standing in between you and the bad guys guys come to you.
Let's take a look. Halting strike. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Okay. Reaction attack to deal weapon damage plus reduce movement by half success. Rating squares. Makes sense, but I think doing more damage to all of them at once, for the moment, is more important. So while they're bunched up, I would like to capitalize on that.
So what are you
They're
doing
going to
again?
throw a firebomb. They're going to throw a firebomb in the midst of all of them.
Oh my. I didn't know you had a fireball, but sure.
You have two.
Oh yeah, the... Sure, let him have it.
Okay, so roll 2d10, correct? Or is this not an attack? They just...
I mean, if
I'm
you're
not sure.
targeting someone specifically, after all, yes.
Just throwing it at the floor in between all of them so that it hits them and not us. So that
That's
they have to stand in
entirely
the fire.
possible, yes. Fire rages at their feet. The small little baby goblin doesn't have the... He just takes a wound from all this fire lapping at his heels. Ow! He's now a -2 in his air stance. What a poor boy.
To roll the damage?
Well, the damage if you hit someone directly with it. Otherwise, it's just 1 point for everyone.
Ah, that makes sense. Fair enough.
The goblin becomes a bit frightened, of course, because he's standing in fire.
Yes.
The robot seems mostly unaffected by this. After all, it's a
That makes
machine.
sense. Yes.
What does your
Well,
skeleton
Argus
do?
will-
Oh no, what do you do, Kyle?
That was the skeleton. I will shoot the crossbow at the caster. That would be 2d10 plus... let's see. Just combat, I guess, so +0 for me. And then I would be in a fire stance. No, wait, I was still in an air stance, so it's just 2d10 with no bonuses, I guess. Is that how that works? Am
Why
I
are you in
doing it
air
right?
stance?
In order to attack those guys to cast the spell, remember? The air burst. from the
I said
previous
that
turn.
doesn't apply. Like, you don't have to be...
Ah, Okay, fair enough.
Besides, you
Well,
could have changed your stance on your next turn.
fair enough. In that case, I'm gonna go to fire because that's for attacking.
No, it's not. That's...
It's for doing everything very visibly, very strikingly, intimidating, etc. So that's why am I thinking about this wrong?
I mean, if you want to do it that way, then yes.
Yes.
Like, if
I
you
would
want to
like
spend your opportunity... Okay, so you're going for the... Who are you going for? Magic Boy? Little guy.
Yes, I want him to shrink away from us.
So little guy.
No, the other one, I think. The
Okay.
other one's
Well then,
plus,
roll me, comma. Give me your combat. Give me your fire.
plus fire. Okay, +1, and then combat says +0, +2. Which one applies? So +0, I guess. Or is it +2? Because it's 2 rolls. Excuse me, 2 numbers.
God damn it! I can't seem to focus tonight. Sorry. What do you say?
That's okay. For combat, it lists 2 numbers. Which one do I use? I've
The
been
first
using the
one.
first one.
The
For
second one is your
first
defensive one.
Okay, so it's just +1, +0. Okay, that's a 10.
Wah, wah. And no opportunity. So, unfortunately, despite your best efforts, you do not
That's fine.
instill fear within him.
Shame.
Who hasn't had a go yet? Paula Manzala, I think.
Yes.
I have not had my go yet.
Well, then go.
Okay, so I'm gonna once again try to shoot that spellcaster
His hands
because
are
he's
still
kind of the
shaking.
dangerous one. This one's going for his face.
Then perish.
Yes, that's a critical.
That is an opportunity. So in that case, you probably actually do hit him in the face. Roll me 1d8. As he loudly and boisterously sit upon this boy back, he get hit by big spells. Oh god. What's his defensive value? 2 plus 5. Okay, it's 5, so that's 8. So that's 4, so that's 11.
Do I get the
Skizzards.
1d6 for my crossbow?
Oh yeah. Nah, this doesn't apply. He's not flanked or anything. I mean, I guess he's holding on, so he's a bit clumsy. Sure, why not go for it?
Hi, Bingo.
That actually sounds like a fun thing to spend opportunities on, getting sneak attack on over. But that kills him outright. As he yells loudly and tries to stand up and command fear, as Pollum shakes in his little booties, a crossbow bolt flies at him, right in betwixt his jaw and his neck, so he can't even lower his head as he falls backwards slowly until gravity slams him into the ground, hidden in the shadows of the large construct standing in front of him.
Scary shit.
I don't know, you're committing murder, so
Yes.
sure.
Gotta be scary.
I think
I mean,
fear
yes.
of the dungeon is a precept that's kind of vanished over time as people have goofy fights in bars.
Yes. In my entire D&D, well, tabletop career, I have never had a goofy fight in a bar. I think.
I think it's kind of weird that all these. I'm gonna take a big like leap here, but I think it's an interesting statement to make, or at least to think about. But like the vast majority of people who are playing D&D right now are like, they're left-leaning individuals who want to have some fun, and they're very much aggrandizing the concept of violence against people because you don't like them. But then in real life, they're like, no, we need to be polite, and that makes me giggle. That's funny.
Hmm.
It's perfectly fine if you murder a guy you met in the street because he's a bandit, but it's not fine to murder someone you politically disagree with because he threatens your existence.
Like that was stopping anyone at any point.
Anyway, that's my hilarious comedical political observation of the day. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's fine.
We all have a good laugh around here. Colin, have you taken your action yet?
No, but I suppose I'm still shaking in fear, so there is that. I suppose that the death of the Goblin Wizard is helping, but
You're still a little off, but the goblin in front of you is going to make an easy target because he's probably terrified of the fact that his boss suddenly shut up out of nowhere. You can see him, his fear shaking it. He's also starting to.
so we have a battle of fear. Amazing.
Battle of wits.
No, how does it work? Me being shaken, or
You take a -2 because you're recovering, since
Oh.
the social fear is
Oh.
vanishing.
okay? So I'm going to try to attack the small goblins. That's equally as terrified as me then.
Excellent.
But maybe since I'm more hesitant, I'm switching from fire to water stand.
Since you're the energy in your body is not quite there, and you're not as sturdy as you hope as the pain puts you off guard. But you can't flow with your enemy and let him have it. All right.
Oh, no, I get a good roll.
The beautiful goblin. I don't know if he runs away or not, but you don't ever get any trouble from him again as he lies on the ground, unmoving from the solid strike. There's a slight crunch as you hit him on his helmet. Fluids that are not quite blood drip from under his head before he falls over backwards. Trapped inside of his own mind as his spine refuses to transmit signals. Murder! It's so much easier when you just set people on fire.
Yes.
I like how, for some odd reason, the human mind is like, fireballing people is politer than cracking their skulls with a hammer.
Yes,
No,
I'm
it's-
really not sure about that.
Quite
but,
being an actual war crime.
Napalm is good. That's why after Vietnam, everyone started using it. Made a good
And we
advertisement for
keep
that one.
doing. And white phosphorus.
Oh man, I don't even want to think about white phosphorus because it's in a video game, and oh boy, they really sold me on why that's not a good idea.
Oh, you played Spec
And I
Ops.
saw it, and it fucked me up.
That was a heavy scene.
That's the first time I think I've seen a game put so much gravitas on like why those weapons are mean. Anyway, it's silent once more, and I think we'll end it here for tonight. I have a
Oh.
lot of material to chew upon. If you have any particular comments, please put them in writing because I'm very frail when talked to.
there is a big golem in front of us.
You know, I completely forgot about the golem, to be honest. Since, you know, no one controls it, it's still fighting you, I guess. Since it has been given instructions, and it will try to fight you.
Does he keep fighting the minion?
You have to keep it's a mindful minion. So here's how it goes. You have your mindless minions who will just keep following instructions blindly, and you have mindful minions like Como Skeleton who can interpret commands and kind of act accordingly.
Mhm.
This guy's just a fucking brain dead thing that's just slamming into people when he's told to.
Now, there's one question I would like to establish right now.
Yes.
This thing is not undead. This is a construct.
I mean, it's covered in skulls, but you could tell that that's just like decorations because it's hanging from its body.
Decorations, yeah, so the reason I'm asking is because technically, my character has an ability to try and wrestle control over from other creatures, but only the undead ones.
Your skeleton takes another wound. All right, so you want to wrest control? It's your turn again. You have a plan. What do you do with it?
Like you did mention that. Okay, let me read this specifically. The wording in this. Turn command undead temper with a hostile undead as an action. Blah blah blah. But this thing is not undead, so.
Como, magic is
yes.
bleh. So maybe you can what's it called again? There's a cool word for this. Beckon? No. Bequeath? No.
Such a funny word.
There's a really good word for this for like asking your god specifically.
A divine intervention, you mean?
No.
Petition?
Petition. That's the one I'm looking. Pollum's got this one down pat. You can petition your god for funny business. So if you want to, you can totally be like, please, Lord, grant me control over this creature.
You know what? I'll do that. I'm gonna tap Xyla on the shoulder. They're gonna turn around. I'm gonna poke a little notepad to them. It's like, would you like to sign my petition?
Look, we already
sorry.
legalized weed.
Yeah, it's
Stop
my petition
asking me about it.
my petition is to make senators play violent video games. Anyway, yes, I would like to use the divine intervention and wrestle control from that.
Give me a
robot
magic
to us,
roll.
to me.
How do you petition your god? Like when you plead your pleadiest, what is your prayer? Do you try to charm your god like great and powerful Lord? Do you use reason? I will not live longer if you do not grant me this wish. Are you furious? We must do this now.
Reasoning specifically.
Then
this
Earth.
thing is yes.
4+4, please give it a go.
2d10.
+2, by the way,
+4.
because this creature has recently lost its master.
26.
Jesus Christ, man! Did you have to show me up so bad?
No. I do not control the rolls. I only roll them. They're randomized after.
This was not an easy roll. Like even if I give him the full max bonuses, that's successes if I ever saw one. You implore your lord to grant you control over this powerful device. After all, it'd be a shame to damage it.
Yes.
The creature halts its actions. Your skeletal minion is spared. For now.
Oh, wow.
So I guess we can end it here.
Yeah, cool. That went better than I expected.
As I mentioned, if you have any commentary on the system, I would love to hear it. I've got a lot to think about because I think I learned a lot.
Well, you did mention that you would like to read it, not hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing ever gives as much information as actually testing it.
Besides, writing it down gives you a moment to process it. Oh man. Oh man. Radlius is like, oh man, he put up a video that's called the Magic is Dead. That just makes me sad because he liked Warframe so much, and even I'm like, man, I keep forgetting Warframe even exists.
Yeah, I haven't touched that game in years.
I haven't played it for ever since they decided to make political statements and insult me specifically. So I said, "Fuck you." So I'm not playing it.
Did they say specifically Russians or just like the Russian government? Because your government should always be
No,
considered
they
separate
said
from yourself.
we're punishing the citizens because of your government, and I said, you know what? Fuck you.
That is a rude thing to say.
Did
Yes.
they actually say that, or
He said because of the actions of your government, we're basically pulling support. You can't buy anything, you can't do anything. You still play.
Oh, yeah.
But we're gonna fucking suspend all the functions for your country because fuck you. I'm like, well, fuck you then.
Because as we all know, the Russian military runs entirely on Warframe Platinum.
No, it rose.
Come on, listen. You know how those online scammers always ask for gift cards? The same as with the Russian military. They run on Platinum.
Yeah, exactly. That's a dumb thing. Like they could have said it. It's like, okay, cool. The banks are not working right now, therefore we're suspending this. But they had to make it all about. It's like,
They had to make it sound
guilt-trip
like they were
people.
doing a greater good.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're doing this because we're taking a powerful political stand. No, it's because you can't earn any money from that, but you're making a political stand out of it. So, I mean, to be fair, I've worked in PR departments before. I would do the same thing, but that's still a very dickish thing to do. So fuck them.
I mean, I would call you a hypocrite, but you haven't done anything, so I can't really judge you for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the thing. That's why I don't vote on elections. I get to complain because I'm not a hypocrite. I haven't voted, so I get full opportunities to complain about other people's choices.
To be fair, you don't exactly live in a country where elections are the most meaningful.
I mean, to be fair, that's true at the same point, but like there are elections, it's just that the other candidates are so shit.
As
Nobody
South
can
Park
really
said
do
it, you can
anything.
vote between a douche and a turd.
That's true. And that's why they prefer the douche that has been in power for a while and that has shown that, well, I mean, under this guy's rule, the quality of life has improved.
Anyway,
actually.
I'm going to take some time to process this, which means that next week, whoever is around at the time will probably be playing Iron Claw because I want to play that a bit more. Or something else. I don't know. I'll figure something out.
Okay. I'd be down for that. Poland will be here next week.
Oh, okay. I think I won't. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure I won't.
Is there any other day during the week where
You
you
already
could
mentioned.
try?
Yes.
Pretty much every day except Friday and Saturday. The big days.
Also, while you're still all here, here's the picture that I posted last. There's a folklore tale about a lady living in a copper mountain. She's called the master of the copper mountain. She turned into a lizard and all that, which is, I mean, explains why I like them. Anyway, so the Emerald Spire reminds me of that because her mountain is malachite, which looks really pretty. Hold on, let me
Yes.
try that picture.
That's green stuff, right, Malachi?
anyways? Yeah, it is. Fancy
Yeah.
rock. Bomb pop.
Bye bye, dumb.
Bye.
It was fun.
Yes.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Yeah, Malachi.
Bye. I was in a museum where they were, where I saw one of these. Well, actually, a lot of these.
This belongs to the museum.
The fucking giant.
What the fuck is the cleavage of a crystal?
Excuse me?
The cleavage of a crystal. Cleavage in mineralogy and material science is the tendency for crystalline materials to split among indefinite crystallographic structural planes.
What the
Yes,
heck?
I'm sure that makes sense to someone.
That's weird. I've been to the museum where they have all of these. It's really neat.
Oh, it's okay. I see. That's It's something that'll probably take me a few years to fully understand, but sure.
Yeah, I was wondering, Siska, why do you need to have both health, wounds, endurance, and fatigue? Because I admit I had a bit of trouble while reading the rules. Why there is, well, basically positive endurance and negative fatigue, and positive health and negative wounds. Can't you just say you take 8 um, damage on your health or 8 damage on your endurance?
Yeah, that is a good one. The main approach I took is that it takes slightly more mental brain power to do subtractions than it does to do additions. So to say that you accumulate fatigue and you accumulate wounds.
Yes, but I mean, do the words wounds and fatigue really matter at this point?
True. True. Yeah, I'll think about it. Like I said, I learned a lot. 16
Apart from
improvement.
that, yes, I didn't detect anything weird.
Seeing things in motions also makes it a lot easier to realize what exactly actually matters and what doesn't. Like that, for example.
Because, well, I'm used to when I'm getting hits on my health points, I don't take, well, I suppose I take damage points, but I don't need the additional
I have
vocabulary.
to say this. I have to say this, but your accent makes it sound like you're saying elf points.
Is it not health points?
It is health points, but
Oh, hit points.
my brain
Yes.
my brain autocorrects it to elf points, like elves.
Ah, okay. Yes. It's a problem with French
I'm
and
losing my
H.
poetry. My health.
We can't pronounce the
I
H
know.
in English.
Yeah, I know. To the,
We try, but we can't.
it's fine. Itch. Hell, it's kind of a weird character. It's just like the Dutch G. The very weird character. To be fair, the Dutch can't pronounce the English R too well either, because we have the rolling R. So a lot of people, when they start learning English, they overcompensate. It's great.
I mean,